Is menopause selfish? Is that our time to really look within and be about giving back to ourselves a little bit?
I mean, if you don't do it then, when are you doing it? When you said a second, it said, we're helpers as women. I heard help her.
Help her! Oh my God.
Help her.
I just peed a little bit on myself. Help her. And that's another thing in menopause.
That's another sign.
That's another sign.
Another symptom.
Welcome to the Kim Gravel Show.
All right. Buckle up, buttercups. Look, it is going to be an amazing show. I'm Kim Gravel. This is the Kim Gravel Show. And today we're talking about menopause. The dirty word that I am fully in. I'm so menopausal, I'm not pausing anymore. I'm telling you. My guest today is an Emmy award-winning journalist and author. She's a documentary filmmaker and a total 100% menopause advocate. She's known as social media's midlife mentor. I absolutely love that. And she's one of my sisters in the QVC Q50 ambassadors. So her new book has just dropped. It is called How to Menopause. Take charge of your health and reclaim your life and feel even better than before. Y'all, please welcome
Tamsen Fadal.
Right.
I love you.
Tamsen, isn't that fantastic? Don't you think everybody needs their name sung? Not in lights. We need it sung. I know.
I love that. Good. I want to record that and keep that close to my heart.
We're going to send it to you.
Oh, it's yours. It's yours. We'll send it to you.
And Tamsen, I got to say this. Bless Zach's heart. You know, y'all know Zach. I love Zach. He's actually could be my son, but he is a brother from another mother. He is going to learn more about hot flashes, dry places down there.
Yep.
All the things, because he lives with 3 women.
Oh, you need this.
Thank you.
4 if you include the cat. Look, I was joking. This was my favorite topic ever, which, you know, like every guy, I think, is
scared of this,
uncomfortable by this conversation. And I think that's a big part of the problem. And so I would like to go on record as your producer, Kim, on this show and be like, look, I'm going to get over it. Let's bring it on. Make Zach uncomfortable because this is a conversation that's important.
It is. And I will say this, Tamsen, and we're going to dive into it, but I have not had my cycle. Okay, we're starting off strong for about 2.5 years. Sorry, Zach. And I don't care because
don't apologize.
But I want to tell you, I went through 10 years of pre, whatever, menopause.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions to ask. I was meaner than a, cat with its tail tied. I mean, I was evil. So I didn't have all the hot flashes that much. I was just mean as all get out. Is that normal? Let's talk about it.
It's so normal. It's that whole thing we talked about. There's different parts of it. There's rage, there's irritability, there's anxiety, there's all these different puberty, but we're doing it in reverse. And so that's what it is. It's a hormonal roller coaster. And so it makes sense. It totally makes sense. What I love is when you kind of get on this other side of it, it's all sort of leveled out. Now you have like, whatever. I say what I want. I'm unfiltered in life. But before that perimenopause can be some uncomfortable years and some moodiness and some just difficult days where you don't know who you are.
Okay, tell us why. Let's take it because I want to pop up your book because you're talking how to menopause because we all go through it. That's the one thing we all have in common as women. Like all of us are not mothers, all of us are not married, all of us, but all of us go through menopause.
Yes.
It's a common denominator for us.
If we're lucky enough, right?
Amen.
If we're lucky enough.
Amen.
And I think about that a lot, but yeah, we all go through it. And the fact that we hadn't talked about it or heard about it is always shocking to me. And I spent a long time doing the news. That was my job before all this happened. And I had never really talked about menopause on television and certainly never heard the word perimenopause until I was in it. I lost my mom at an early age and I have since learned, even though she's not here, I realized that all these symptoms that she was going through where she was irritable and frustrated and sweating all the time were perimenopause. She had gone through that at a very young age and had no one to talk to about it. And I think that that's what's made me so vocal about it because how unfair is that? So I do feel lucky that we get to go through it, but wow, there's some tough days. I'll tell you that.
Can we start by defining what menopause is? Because we talk about it, we laugh about it. I mean, wasn't there even a little Broadway show about it or off-Broadway show about it? So what define menopause for all of us once and for all?
Yeah. I mean, menopause is really when you've gone 12 months now without your cycle, without your period. Okay. And it's really that one day after that. That's what menopause is. Everything else, all those 7 to 10 years that lead up to it with weird periods, moodiness, irritability, joint pain, weight gain, can't sleep, brain fog. That's where those perimenopause has started, and your hormones are going all over the place. It's like a roller coaster. It really is very chaotic in your body. And now you've gone 12 months without your cycle, and anything after that is considered postmenopause. But just for ease, we say menopause because quite frankly, for me, that's just too many things to remember. So I say anything else, you're menopausal. So you're really in menopause the rest of your life after you hit it. So you could spend a third to half of your life in menopause.
And so is it more than just not having your cycle? Like what happens to us hormonally? Because there, my mom went through menopause and is in it, of course, like you said, and she's never taken a supplement or any hormone or anything. So, she's like, well, if God wanted us to do that, he'd have given it to, she's one of those. She's old school.
Yeah.
So is it more than just, I don't have my cycle anymore?
Well, it's where your hormones are fluctuating. Your estrogen is depleted. Kind of goes like, it's like this and it's chugging along and then it goes like this. Progesterone, you have a depletion of all these hormones, and that's what causes all these things. And there are a lot of women like your mom that went through it and just said I'm either sucking up the symptoms. Yes. Or they weren't that bad, or I didn't feel comfortable talking about them. Right. And I think, and then there was this whole generation that kind of got skipped over, because they didn't talk about this stuff out. Yeah. They didn't talk about it, and they weren't put on hormone therapy. They weren't offered hormone therapy. And, so I know there's a lot of looking back now going, oh gosh, yeah, that whole generation got, skipped, and they've gone 10 years or however long without their cycle. And maybe they're, not wanting to do hormone therapy at this point. And that's, they're part of guidelines where most people say after 10 years, is it that effective? But, that's to be determined with more research.
Wouldn't you say everybody's different?
Yeah. So different, right? Right. What were your worst symptoms?
I had the hot flashes and the sweats.
Yeah.
But I also, my natural tendency is a warrior spirit. So I think I missed my calling. I should have been a dude in the army. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could be a woman in the army too, but I'm I probably should have been that person.
Right.
And so that just exacerbated that. My family was like, she's possessed by Satan. Anything would pop me off.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Did you have brain fog too? Would you look at
I'm having the brain fog now.
Tamsen. Oh, wow. I get it. No, I did too after. Yep. Okay. I get it. It's irritating and it's real. And we didn't have words for it before. We just were like, oh, I walked into this room and I can't remember why I walked in here. But it's age. But that's not it. It's like, I can't remember your name, or I can't remember the next word that's coming out of my mouth. And it's really noticeable. And I think it's more noticeable now because so many of us are in the height of our careers, and we're like, I've got it. I got the wisdom. I'm kicking butt. I'm great. Oh, wait, what was I saying? And you just can't believe, right? You just can't believe it's gone. It's just gone from your head.
But this is the thing. I have found myself on the other side of menopause or whatever. I'm in the throes of whatever we're calling it. I have the brain fog. I have the physical energy. I want to rest more, but the stamina I have, and I don't know, it's clarity too. Menopause is not all bad, is what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here going, oh, this is horrible, I just want to retire. I have some kind of sense of, I don't know if it's the age, or are there any good things for menopause? Because I'm feeling good a lot too. I'm
feeling good too. I'll tell you this. This is what I've been more aware of. I love that you said that, because I talked about the gifts of menopause, and it's funny. My publisher was like, what gifts? And I go, no, there are gifts. And she was like, I'm not saying a gift. And I said, no, there really are. And I think it's that you've got a lot of those big timeline things that were a lot of stress in your life behind you, right?
Ooh.
Whether it was having children or relationships or career, it was all these like timelines that we kept. And I think that you and I come from the same place of like, got to do this next and then this and then this. Right. And so I think that part's behind us. So the road feels a little more clear. I think that we've got some freedom. We're not worried about, getting pregnant now. I think that there are some different areas of it that feel free to women. They're not getting their period anymore. I do agree with you that out of all the brain fog and stuff, I do have a clarity too, but it's a clarity about me. Like, I know who I am. I'm not questioning value systems. I'm not questioning, what I want, who I want to be around. My community is I understand what's important to me. And I think for a long time in my 30s and 40s, I was like, I think that's important, but maybe you could convince me otherwise. So, I feel good. And I feel like I've gotten closer to real women that are like, and those bonds are tight now. Very different than what it was before growing up, is like who friends are. My community means a lot to me.
Well, and we're part of the same community, the Q50, the over 50 and
I love
fabulous, which is really, isn't it so great? Because the sisterhood is so important. But like I said at the top of the show, like this truly does, we all experience it. Or like you said, we get the opportunity to, those of us who get the opportunity that live long enough that come on the other side of it. Because your mother, didn't she pass of breast cancer, girl?
She did. Yeah. She was 51 and she was diagnosed when she was 44, 45 years old, right around her birthday. Yeah. And so it was 6 years of battling that. And when I hit 50, that wasn't my hard time. It was 51. Because I didn't have a roadmap after that of what happens. When you lose a mom, your roadmap goes away. You're like kind of in this dark room looking for the light, And I remember thinking like,
you feel orphaned.
You do. And I love my dad. My dad's 85. Like, God bless him. I love him so much. Like he's my everything. But your mom, there's something about that with your mom, And so that was a really tough time for me. Not only that I didn't have that in front of me, but I never had those conversations, right? Those conversations that a lot of motherless daughters don't have, and I didn't even know. I didn't know there were any more conversations left to have, Kim, because I didn't know about this one, and I didn't realize this, I've had people say like, well, what was your mom's menopause journey like? And I was like, I don't know, because she went into it because of breast cancer, medical menopause.
Induced.
And at the time, she'd be sweating, hot, uncomfortable, but I don't even know if she knew she was in menopause. I think we thought that it was just kind of like she happened to be hot and we would all laugh about it and she would laugh about it. And so I think there's a lot of shame wrapped up in that word for a long time. And so I'm real grateful that we get on and we have that conversation with a smile on our face, because I think of all the women that did never have that conversation.
Make this spring your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been so easy. And there's a reason Factor is our longest running sponsor. It's because Amy and I are obsessed. My BFF, we're obsessed with the Factor meals. As a matter of fact, let me just call Amy. Amy is a woman of few words. So if she loves it,
hello.
Hey. Just one quick question.
Okay.
Factor meals, go.
Oh my God, I love my Factor meals.
I do too, Amy.
Well, they are so good. First of all, I mean, I will say it was better than I expected. Not that I expected bad, but I remember when I got my first delivery of the week. Oh wow, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a shredded chicken, and then like the next day, I was like, wow, this is really good. I mean, like every day. And I really didn't. I mean, every one of them is like so good. It's so convenient. I mean, it's just like, it's such a time saver. And I've gotten to the point where I don't really like to think a lot about, cooking and, doing all that. Cause I'm single and it's kind of hard to cook for one person. So this is like, in fact, it's just perfect. They're so good.
Thank you. I was just giving a little quick, I love you so much.
Okay.
She's only passionate about food and Factor. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
I've never heard the woman talk so much. Okay. Get started at factormeals.com/Kim50off and use Kim50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Kim50off at factormeals.com/Kim50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Get ready to be passionate about your Factor meals because you heard Amy, and I am too. They're quick, they're easy, and they're delicious. My exclusive Kimmy's candies are about to sell out, y'all. So this is your last chance to get these yummy salted caramels that just, they hit that sweet tooth just right. Have you tried this exclusive chocolate of the salted caramel candies? If you haven't, you've got to. Let me tell you why. It really, really does hit the spot with my sweet tooth, but it's 0 sugar, okay? Keto friendly, gluten free. And the pieces are so big, y'all. All you need is one and it hits the spot. And if you want 0 guilt-free chocolate, salted caramel that's covered in the most delicious chocolate, all you got to do is head on over to KimGravellShow.com/candy and pick up yours today. I'm telling you, they are so good. It feels like you're getting away with something really, really naughty that tastes really, really good. You actually had a panic attack and a hot flash on live television. And I'm going to step out and say this. I'm no doctor or anything, but Tamsen, so many people, especially women, are dealing with, at our age, are dealing with this anxiety.
Oh.
Like I see it everywhere. I haven't seen it in young people, but do you know, women our age who, like you said, have gotten on the other side, have a little bit of clarity, but they're still having these anxiety. It's got to be more than just behavioral or circumstantial.
Yeah.
You had a panic attack on live TV.
And you know what it's like. If you're on television for a long time, it doesn't phase you anymore. You can go from like eating and talking, texting and snap back on. And so when that happened, and
how did it happen? What happened? Like set the stage.
Oh yeah. So I anchored the evening news in New York City for years. And so I was at this particular station for 15 years. And I'm always like, I put New York to sleep. And so that was what I did. I did the 10 to 11 o'clock newscast every night. And I was ticking along fine. I'd had a lot of these brain fog moments, but no word to use. I was just like, gosh, for some reason, like I'm not remembering stuff. I don't know what's going on when I'm on the air. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable cross talking, like ad libbing, just having a conversation without a script. And so it was getting, that I was so excited to be done with the show. So I was like, okay, nothing weird happened there. Didn't know anything about perimenopause or menopause. This one particular night around 10 o'clock, I had that happen at the top of the show. I'm like, well, okay, well, that's past me. I'm sitting in the commercial break and all of a sudden I feel this inferno come up and like just sweat sprouts everywhere. And it's not like fun sweat. It's like everywhere in your hair, in your boobs, everywhere.
It's like you're on fire from the inside.
You're on fire. And I was like, and my heart's now racing to try to stop it just before we go into the next, but I'm sweating, visually sweating. And I said, oh man, I don't know what to do. And I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. And I said out loud in the studio of, it's all guys, all camera guys and the 2 male anchors. If I fall over, somebody catch me, kind of half joking, half like, I need to let somebody know what's going on. So the sports anchor said, I think you need to get off the set. Like I'm sweating. And so I said, maybe I should. So he leads me off the set and brings me to the ladies' room. And I go in and I literally just lay on the floor to like get it all stopped. Cause I didn't know if I was going to pass out, throw up. I didn't know what was going to happen. And 20 minutes later, I'm looking at my dress is all hiked up. I'm like in my normal frame of mind, I would never lay on this disgusting floor.
Right.
And so, I got up, I left, and I wound up going to a couple of different doctors because I didn't know it was menopause. I didn't know any of this. And I said, I don't know. I had this I don't know what it was. Am I sick? Something, my blood. I wind up doing a blood test and I get a note from my OBGYN that said, in menopause, any questions? And that was what was in my patient portfolio, like my patient portal. And that was it. It was like, okay, that's what you got. That's where you're at now. And that's what led me down that road of questioning. It's the craziest, weirdest thing. I never if you'd asked me 6 years ago, I'd been like, what are you talking about menopause, Kim? I'm going to be on the news, doing the news. But that's how it happened. And that's the first time I ever even knew that was a thing. Yeah.
You've got this book because you've written so many books. You're a best-selling author and you've got so many books. So this How to Menopause, give us some advice because a lot of it, I mean, like my mom is 78, right? And
I love that.
She has been in menopause a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So give us some advice. What steps do we need to take about all the questions that we have? Give us some questions you've been asked and tell us why the book and what we're going to find when we read it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing with me for the book was the fact that women in midlife in this stage, we don't have a roadmap like of what to do. We were talking earlier about the fact that like we're both at this place right now at this age. Like I didn't think at 54 I was going to be doing this. I thought I was going to be like hanging on for dear life to figure out what my career. I didn't know what was going to happen, and
getting ready for retirement.
Or getting ready for retirement. I was like, I'm gonna be by a pool or a beach.
We just started new careers, girl. You and I are getting ready to work.
Crazy.
I know.
And you know what I love about it? I love about the fact that like I lay in bed at night, like I can't wait for the next day. And I don't think I felt like that when I was younger. I mean, maybe I was excited about some stuff, but I went through a lot of years not feeling like that. I'm pretty convinced that I don't remember those times. Like I get excited to get up in the morning now, which I think is really great. Like I spring out of bed like, oh, I got so much to do. But so what I did with the book and what I wanted to do was talk about menopause as a 360, not like here's, just your hormones, because I don't think it's just that. I know it's not just that. It's the 360 of a woman. It's every part of you. It's mental, it's physical, it's spiritual, it's your community. And so what I did with the book is really divide it up so that we can talk about the things we talk about with Q50. As a matter of fact, we talk about our style. We talk about makeup. We talk about hair and skin and workplace and what we want to do next in life. So I really wanted that to be, we deal with like what the symptoms are, how to understand them, how to go into your doctor's office at any age. If your mom's 78, there's important things to still do at that age. If you're past menopause, there's still important things that you have to do to take care of your body when it comes to osteoporosis or heart or brain.
Yes.
So it doesn't end for us in terms of that. So it's not like, oh, we went through those years, we were fine. There's long-term health implications that we have to pay attention to. So I really wanted this book to run that gamut of peri, menopause, and post, because this part of a woman's life is kind of left off the timeline after we hit this midlife place. We're just not there. We're not there with research. We're not there with a roadmap. And so I was super excited to write this because I had fun being able to dive into the other parts of mindset with this, of what to ask your doctor if you do want to explore hormones, what to ask your doctor if you've gone through menopause and you're on the other side of it now and still need to maintain good bone health and strength and nutrition, still have an active sex life. Those are all really important questions. I know. And it's possible, really possible. And so, but we never were taught what to ask, and we never were told it's okay to ask it.
Well, menopause is portrayed on the most part negatively. If it's portrayed at all, it's kind of a little bit of a negative connotation, almost like menopause equals no more femininity.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you don't think menopause and think, oh, she's gorgeous, she's vivacious, she's beautiful. You think, well, she's old.
That's exactly right. When I read that in my patient portal, I was standing in the airport, in menopause. Any questions? I was standing in the airport with my now husband, then boyfriend. And I was like this, I'm in menopause. Like, I didn't even know what to say. And then I was like, why did I tell him that? He's going to think I'm old and my best years are behind me, because that's really what I thought when I heard a word like that. So I think that the reason that the book is, that I was excited to interview so many people, I interviewed 42 different experts plus for the book, because I think it's not just what happens in the doctor's office. It's what happens in the bedroom. It's what happens in the boardroom. It's what happens when it comes to boundaries in our lives. We learn a lot during this time, and we're not pausing. There's no such thing as a pause during this time.
Can we talk hormones? Do you talk hormones in the book, Tamsen?
Because I do, absolutely. Hormones and non-hormonal options. Yep.
Okay. Can we just briefly talk about that?
Yeah.
Because everybody listening, I've heard some pro, some are, no hormones. Like I said, my mother's no hormones. Yep. Tell me about hormones. I know we're missing a lot of estrogen, right?
We are. Yeah, it spikes. It can go up and down. That's like in the perimenopause part. But, some of these symptoms are the effects of low levels of estrogen primarily, but also progesterone and also testosterone. So those are some of the things to be aware of. It's not just estrogen, but it's all of those. But, when that estrogen fluctuates, that's that perimenopause part. When that estrogen is like at its, not great point, when we're talking about hormone therapy, is when we're in menopause. But there are a lot of doctors that will prescribe hormone therapy in perimenopause, and they'll, regulate those doses of it because you're fluctuating all over the place. So I'm on hormone therapy. I lost my mother to breast cancer. I was very, very confused when I went into menopause, thinking like, oh, I don't know if I'm allowed. I can't do that. I can't have estrogen in my body. My mother had breast cancer. My gosh, that's always been the scariest thing in my life.
That's kind of scary. I'm going to be honest with you. That is a fear of mine for doing hormone therapy. Is
of course it is.
I don't want to be on estrogen because I don't know where I heard this. It's so funny how you just.
And that's what everybody says. It's unbelievable. So there was a study in 2002, the Women's Health Initiative, that studied and looked into this, and it was a big study that went on. And at the end of the study, it was really when it was released and announced that by the end of it, it was that hormones, estrogen, could create breast cancer or cause breast cancer, and that's all that anyone took away from that. They came back after that and pulled that back. It's not what the data supported. But that's all women had to hear. And the rate of doctors stopped prescribing it. Medical schools have not taught it to a lot of the doctors that are out there. You can go into, out of 20 doctors, a couple of them might tell you, oh no, I'm not going to put you on that. And women started flushing it down the toilet. We did a documentary in October called The M Factor, talking about this. And two of the physicians that were on were prescribing during that time. And they said, I'll never forget the day our phone in the office were ringing off the hook. 40% of women were on estrogen or on hormone therapy, down to 4% because women were freaked out. Now, the data didn't show that. They've pulled that back. They said, Menopause Society has said, hormone therapy is the most effective solution for menopausal symptoms, for certain menopausal symptoms. But still, that really stuck with women because like you, like me, that has always been a fear. I had a doctor finally explain that to me, several, and that was kind of part of my gone down this rabbit hole. And I'm a journalist, not a doctor, so I was like, I need answers to this, to understand it, to explain it to women. And I started estrogen. It was in progesterone hormone therapy. And it was one of the best things I did. And it's helped me on so many levels. Like first it helped me start being able to sleep again. Then it started helping with hot flashes. And now I feel like I went for a long time, Kim, saying like, who am I? Like, I don't even recognize who I am some days. Like I really did not have a full sense of self. I couldn't get it back. And I feel like I know her again, like I know who I am again, and I recognize myself in the mirror again. And not all women are candidates for hormone therapy, and that's something they have to go through with their doctor. But just because you have had a mother like I did with breast cancer doesn't mean you're not a candidate for hormone therapy. And in fact, you very well may be. And so I always am just an advocate of knowing what you need to go in there and ask. And there are non-hormonal options too for women that might not want to or aren't candidates for it. So I'm encouraged by that part too, because I think it's so important you gotta take charge of your health because you know your body better than anybody else.
Isn't it the truth? You've got to do
anybody else.
You've got to go in and be your own boss when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Because I think we're all very different, but how much does like your diet, because like my diet has been crap for over the last decade and I've just lost like 50, 60 pounds. I've gained 10 of it back and we're working on praying about it.
All right.
But I have noticed in the menopause, so a lot of you listening to, you say, I'm more depressed now. I have anxiety. I've got a lot of weight gain.
Yeah.
Don't we have to look at because I've always thought I'm going to look at my life. You never look at it the proper way when you're living it, but I'm going to look at the next chapters of my life and view it, not apply the same things that I've been doing in the past, because I've noticed exercise is different for me.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
My endurance is a little different. I mean, there's a lot of, shouldn't we now post menopause, or if we're in it, really design our lives a little differently, even how we eat, how we sleep, all the things.
I love that you say that, because I agree with you. I think sometimes we're all trying to live this I grew up as an 80s girl. So I was like, get on the treadmill and sweat. And if I have enough sweat under the treadmill, and don't go into the big bad weight room, because those are where the boys go. I mean, that's literally what I did. And I was like, okay, I worked off, my lunch and my breakfast. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And when I look back at how I beat up my body and was like so mean to it all those years, and like drank a big gulp of Diet Coke, and that was how it got me through college. You know what I mean? I just look back and I'm like, what
Ain't
was
it
that?
The truth, girl? Me too, honey. Diet Mountain Dew.
I mean, yeah. Oh, Diet Mountain Dew too. I know. My God.
We are 80s babies, girl. We are some 80s babies.
We are. Give me some Snackwells and I am in good shape. So,
right?
I know, right? Yeah. That beautiful green box. Okay. So
but they don't work for us anymore.
They don't work for us anymore. I feel like crap. Even alcohol is like, what? I can't. Caffeine. I mean, I just go down the list. So I didn't want to depress myself when I was writing the book, but I did carve out those chapters, because that's what I was talking about when I did that last part of it, because I thought, wow, we're going to be in menopause one day, but we're going to be in this next part of our life for a third to a half of our life.
Correct.
And so that's why I wanted to framework those things. Sleep, so critically important.
So, I know, and I love it. Do you love sleep?
Now I do. I'm like, I'm going to sleep. I used to be like, I want to stay up as late as possible. Did you do that? I was like, I'm staying up as late as possible.
Girl,
and now I'm like,
we're type A people. You know we did.
I know.
7:30. I'm winding down.
I know. Yeah. I was like, I'm winding down now, everybody. And before I'd be like, I got 4 hours of sleep and I can still rock it. I don't do that anymore. I don't brag about my lack of sleep. And I did go through and talk about those things, because that bedroom hygiene's real. Like, I thought that, I was like, that's for people who have time for that. But I have blacked out my room completely. In a beautiful way. Like I shut my eyes. It's like Las Vegas. It's like those hotel rooms in Vegas where they darken. I don't need to. I darken. I have a Vegas bedroom now. It's so dark, and I don't know why it's Vegas, but for some reason it's really dark in those hotel rooms.
What happens there stays there. So
it stays in
nobody
I don't
can
know.
see it. Yeah.
So I don't know. And I do progesterone, which is one of the hormones, and magnesium every night before I go to bed. So I am
magnesium is so
relaxed. I even have a topical one that I do if I have any joint pain, a little spray. And then I really pay attention to what I'm doing with the devices, because I'm like you, I'm working till the last minute. I'm not always perfect with it, but I try. And then I try to get up the same time every morning when I can, and go to bed around the same time every night, because that is the only way that I have some type of a framework, around, what I'm doing in my life. And so that feels good and feels whole. And sleep has made a huge difference. And then with my working out, I went from that treadmill to not a ton of cardio anymore. I still do it, but it's mostly walking as much as I can to get outside, and then a lot of strength training in the weight room. So I'm back in the weight room with the guys, and I see all women in there now, and I love it.
I've heard that the weight, so we can find all this information in this book, right?
Yes.
And let's talk diet, because I love to eat. It's my
me too.
It's my vice.
Me too.
Never drank, never smoked. Never ran around with a bunch of men, but I love me some food.
I love that though. But food has to be fun. It can't be awful all the time. I don't want it to be awful.
But you suggest a Mediterranean diet. And you know what? I've been really thinking, what is that? Because I've heard about it. And What, in a nutshell, what is it?
I mean, you can make it how you wanted to make it, right? But I grew up Lebanese, so it was like, I know that diet. I just revolted against it when I was young. I was like, I want bologna like everyone else is having. I don't want this hummus, whatever this is.
Oh, I love hummus though.
But I do too, but I love the bread with it too. So that's my big problem. Yeah. But when you're talking about a Mediterranean diet, here's kind of what it prioritizes: whole grains, vegetable fruit, legumes, seeds, nuts, fish, eggs, and some lean protein, olive oil, herbs and spices. You don't leave a lot out of it. That's the beauty of the Mediterranean diet. What you leave out of it is the processed foods and sugar and too much red meat. But, lean protein is fine. I mean, we see that protein is so important right now. And I personally find it really hard to get to enough of. I really do find it difficult. So I have to work at that with like a smoothie that's packed with it in the morning or some way to get it. But I feel like the Mediterranean diet, I at least enjoy eating. So I do have the chickpeas and the beans, and you can do meat and stuff. It's just that, you know, you can't go crazy on the bread, but you can do whole grains. So that's good.
Well, so is all this in the book? Every question you have about menopause is in this book.
Yes. I wanted it to be, I was like, how do you menopause? How come no one ever told me how to menopause? And then that's kind of how I came up with what I wanted to talk about, you know, because I don't think it's just in the doctor's office, but we do have incredible doctors and researchers and scientists all throughout the book. But I also wanted to make sure that the real life that you and I are going to have to do day to day, we're not going to be in the doctor's office every day. We're going to be like at a restaurant or eating or working. And, I wanted that to be part of the book. Yeah. So it's got nutrition. It's got working out to simplify it if you've never been in the gym or don't want to stay a long time in the gym. And it also talks a lot about friendships, relationships, people that are starting relationships over again, because I think that's an important part of the stage in our lives.
A lot of us are dating again.
Yes,
there's
we are.
a lot of women that's single again. And my best friend, Amy, who is going through, she's in the throes of perimenopause right now. She's single and ready to mingle.
And dating. And well, I've got a chapter for her in there. I got remarried at 50 years old. I was like, what? Yeah. So it was really important for me to speak to the 360 of a woman, because I think that that's what we have been missing for a long time. You know, I asked the questions of the book that women were asking me to ask, you know, so I was excited to be able to really use the social community and listen and hear what they wanted to hear and process as many of those questions. So their stories are in it too. So I have to thank so many women that contributed and were really raw and open about, you know, whatever it was, whether it was, you know, talking about relationships or talking about having a really difficult time or enjoying the gifts of where we are right now. So
what was the number one common question that you're getting from the majority, the number one, you know what I mean? Like, because I believe we're all the same, just in different ways, right?
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. Well, belly fat was a huge one. But I think,
what is that?
I know. That's a little bit of everything. I know it's mean.
And
that's one of them.
It's different.
It's different. It's not. Oh, it's not chubby. Yeah, it's totally different. And I think the biggest question was, am I ever going to feel like myself again? That was the big question. Like that was because I think we can deal with all those other things. Like we can deal with like nut sleep, the belly fat. But when you don't feel like yourself, and that's the person you've been living with for 50 or 60 years, that's scary. And I think that was really, if I look at everything, that was the big overriding, most important question. And I think that my answer is you're not going to feel like that person again. I think you're going to feel better because you're going to get through this part of this time. Like this is a time you have to focus like on yourself a little bit. Even, you know, I'm dealing with an aging parent. I've done a career change. I started a new relationship. And sometimes I was like, I don't have time for all that, but I had to make it in order for me to be able to show up for everybody else.
You know, that's a really, really good point. And I think a lot of people listening to you right now need to hear that. Women, we don't prioritize ourselves. And I know that sounds selfish, but I also think society always tells us you're a helpmate. I mean, my Lord, in the Bible, it says we are the helper. You know, I mean, we were tagged with that from the beginning, girl. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of times women are the backbone, the head bone, the neck bone, the tailbone. We are just really keeping that thing going.
Yeah, we are.
And we don't put our own oxygen mask on before we help others. And to me, that is probably the biggest aha moment I've just had like in the last 2 or 3 years. Like seriously.
I'm so glad.
Because going through menopause, it's a wake-up call. It
is.
Okay. Why is it a wake-up call for you? Because I'm going to tell what it is for me. I'd love to hear why.
Tell me why for you.
Okay. For me, it was like, dang, girl. You got, you know, as my mama used to say, she says this, she's been saying this since she was like 50. I ain't got but 10 good years left. And not meaning like she's going to die, but meaning like healthy and, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
But she's actually prophesied and manifested another 10 good years every year she said it. So like she's 78. she's modeling, she's rocking and rolling. But
God bless her.
We kind of feel that way, right? Like, so when all this was going on, because when you stop having your cycle, although we hate our cycles,
of course,
it is a sign of I ain't young anymore.
Yeah, I'm going toward that way. Yeah, absolutely, it is.
And so for me, it was a wake up call because I thought, oh, what the crap am I going to do? I look back at my life and I'd accomplished a lot, but like, what am I here for?
Now what? How am
I going to add what, I've taken care of everybody else. What am I going to do for me?
Yeah.
And is menopause selfish? Is that our time to really look within and be about giving back to ourselves a little bit?
I mean, if you don't do it then, when are you doing it? When you said a second, it said, we're helpers as women. I heard help her.
Help her. Oh my God.
Help her.
I just peed a little bit on myself. Help her. And that's another thing in menopause.
That's another sign.
That's another sign.
Another symptom.
You wear Depends or a pad, people. Do what you got to do. But isn't that true? Help her.
Help her. Yeah, that's what I heard when you said that. It gave me chills because that's true. That's what that is that time.
Selfish is maybe the wrong word, but self-word. Look with
self-word is great.
We got to take because we've taken care of everybody. And I know this for me. When I say to the kids, shut up, I ain't doing that. Sit down. Y'all go out, leave me alone. When I take care of myself, I'm better at the helping everybody else too.
Everything else. We can help them after, but we got to help her first.
Thank you.
I mean, that really, and I hope that women feel that. And I feel the more that we talk about it, it's very hard. It's hard for me to feel it sometimes. You remember the Simple Abundance books way back? You'd open it up.
We had the same age. We cut from the same cloth, you and me.
Remember, and then there was a second one that was yellow. But anyway, so open it up and I would be like, oh, I'm going to do this today. This is my day. What I wanted to do with the book was make it kind of brain fog proof, so you can open up this book and you can say like, I'm doing this today for me. Yeah. And so whether it has to do with your brain or your sleep or your community or your workplace or your dating or your relationships or your nutrition, I wanted it to be that type of book because that's the only type that has really ever resonated with me. I can't go real deep. I can't go into the dense. So it took me a lot of time to really read the studies, talk to these experts and drill it down. And that's what I want this book to be to help her, because I think that we don't have a lot of time to sit down and like study something. We're like, what do I have to do? How do I menopause? So I wanted it to be where you could really focus on it with whatever attention span that you have right now and be able to help yourself. Just even if it's one thing a week, even if it's that, it doesn't have to be all of it. But you're right. It's really hard for us to do that. I know it is. I know it is.
Well, and we can all do it together as a community. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the Q50 is that we're all in this together, and it is a common thread for all of us.
It is. Something it really is.
We all experience together. Okay, before we go, I've got to do this.
Tell me.
We have to do what I call rapid fire. Now, the great thing about you and I, is that if you and everybody listening, if you are in menopause, it might not be as rapid of a fire as you want it to be. And that's okay.
It's all right.
No,
it'll still be hot.
Comes out. Yeah. Whatever comes to your mind, which again, in menopause can be a little scary because sometimes somebody goes.
It's unfiltered some days, Kim.
It's unfiltered. It's unfiltered. Yo, I've caught myself on business meetings, like with these little young girls, these buyers and things I do. I'm like, honey, we ain't doing that. Shut it down. And they're like, oh my God, Kim is mad. I'm like, oh no, I'm not mad. That means I like you. If I'm getting on to you and slapping you around verbally a little bit, that means I like you.
I love that.
That's Kim in menopause.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's how you menopause.
That's how I menopause, baby. So I'm going to ask you a question. The first thing that comes up, comes out. Don't even think about it.
All right.
Okay.
It'll come out.
Rapid fire questions.
Your first job was a server at Ruby Tuesdays.
Did you know that about me?
No, I did. I knew that about you.
Oh, yeah. Ruby Tuesdays was my first real. Why?
I love a freaking Ruby Tuesdays salad bar. I mean, seriously.
I love
In fact, I want to go right now. What is the one
where did you
thing?
grow up? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Georgia. I grew up right down the street.
Okay, because mine was Texas, so it must have been all south.
Oh, honey, Ruby Tuesdays that's a southern thing.
I think we had Ruby Tuesdays in Massachusetts. I think it's all over.
Really?
Well,
I think so.
Ruby is Tuesday and all over the world. It's so good.
I love it.
What is the one thing that you learned from that job?
Oh gosh, multitasking and like how to remember everything all over the place. I was like, I can take another table. I can take another table. I'm going to get another $5 tip. I'll take another table. That was me.
Tip. Oh God.
I was so happy.
Those were the days, sister. Okay.
Yeah, I know. In cash.
Okay. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about menopause?
That your best days are behind you, that hormone therapy is dangerous. I think it's just different for everybody. That you can't have a great relationship anymore or good sex life, and that you're old.
Hey, man, that's it. I mean, what more do y'all want? Okay, here we go.
I mean, come on.
You're also, you're a dating expert. You've written many books about it. What is your go-to dating advice for women in midlife, especially in this age of technology, swipe left and right and all that?
Oh, yes. Meet in person as soon as possible. Don't play around like back, forth. And then I would also say like, come on, you know, don't ask the questions like, why hasn't he texted? Why is he go? If he's not there, you know it, move on. Like we just know at that time in life, like we don't have time to play the games that we played when we were 20.
Love that.
That's like a mic drop. Yeah.
That is
great.
totally mic drop. What do you miss about being a TV news anchor?
The breaking news. I always was like, I always felt like, yeah, it was a breaking news babe. And I love the community aspect of that, which was great. I always felt like, oh, look what we're helping New York wake up, or we're helping New York go to sleep. So that part, but I feel like now we're helping women menopause. So it feels pretty good.
You are a help her. Okay.
Or help her.
Uh-huh.
That's so good.
Are our phones listening to us?
Always.
I know.
Everything I say. You're going to come up on my Instagram feed, right? Like in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to screenshot it for you. I know it's going to happen when we get off the phone because my phone's right here.
So my best friend Amy swears that they can think our thoughts. I'm like, Amy, you're psycho. They're not doing. She goes, I swear.
It might not be hard. It might not be far. I'm telling you. I think that sometimes, but I don't say it out loud because I'm scared to think that.
Yeah. All right, Meta. Good luck with that one. Come up on in here and see how far you get.
I don't know that you want to, Meta.
That's what I'm saying. Get ready to get scared to death. Okay, here we go. What's the one thing you want to share that you would share with your younger self if you could?
Oh gosh. I always love this. I think that because I think about it a lot. I think it would just be like, it's all going to be all right. Like whatever problem you have today, you're probably not going to have in 24 hours. And I think I tried to train myself with that too. Cause when I was young, I was so wrapped up with whatever the problem was. I was like, this is the end of it all. And then like the next day I forgot what the problem was. And so I try to, I wish I could have told her that because like what wasted time,
Let it go. Okay, favorite junk food. And I mean junk food now. Okay, I don't mean the Mediterranean mess. I mean junk food.
No, not the Mediterranean
salty
mess.
And
salty.
Sweet.
Okay, my salty one. Oh,
make it good, girl.
My salty one is I love Fritos because I love Frito pies.
No. And can I just say
something? Do you know Frito pies?
Oh my gosh, I love. I had Fritos last night with a French onion dip. Let me tell you something.
We are going out. I love Fritos.
I know, but Fritos is a different kind of person.
I love the smell of my breath when like
people. But Tamsen, very few people like the Fritos.
I love Fritos.
Do you like Fritos? I love when I
get the extra salty one.
Zach, do you like Fritos?
I love Fritos. They're so salty. They're my go-to, like when I'm on a road trip and I go to the gas station and I'm like, I need like a road trip snack, Fritos all the way. Or Bugles.
Oh, good. I like that.
Bugles are good too. Bugles are good. But Fritos are a different kind. I used to do Fritos and pour the Hormel chili over the top of it and just
I know that was a thing, and that's what you ate. Like that was. I said to somebody recently, and they were like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Is it on a pie?"
And I'm like, "What?
No, it's not a pie."
Bless their hearts.
Oh, good. That makes me happy.
If you don't know Ruby Tuesdays or Frito pie, you're in trouble.
Come on.
Listen, email us. We'll help you out. All right. Who is your celebrity crush? And I normally ask this. It can be today, your celebrity crush, or back in the day in the 80s, because we're 80s babies. We're 80s kids.
My 80s. Okay.
Seriously, who was your 80s crush? That's what I want to know.
My 80s crush was John Stamos. I had a poster of him from General Hospital, Blackie, on my wall. He was hot.
He's still hot.
He was hot. He's still hot. And then before that, but I was like, I don't know if he was really my crush. I was younger, was John Travolta. And I had the one where he was like staying alive.
Yes, that was your crush.
Yeah, that was my crush. But John Stamos was like my,
Okay,
like, good night.
today,
Good night, John Stamos.
Do you watch any of the teen shows and all that? Like I love going back to give me a high school movie on Netflix and I'm watching it. Like Kissing Booth, I watch all that stuff.
So you do?
Oh gosh, I'm 12. I'm 12.
It's okay, I love it.
So that's another thing. When you're older, you can talk about hot guys and nobody takes offense to it.
Nobody cares.
They're like, bless
They're
her
not
heart.
offended.
She's just old. She's old.
Cute. She's precious. Isn't she precious?
So, well, I'll tell you what, Miss Kim. That's what they tell me. I'm like, now he's a hottie. I can say that.
They say what, you?
Like, I'll go to the kids at school and all the little girls that go to my son's school. And I'm like, now he's hot. And all the now it's not weird and freaky. Now, Zach, you can't do that when you're old.
I can't do that.
No.
Yeah, that's one of those things that like a guy cannot go to a high school and be like.
But I can.
Nope.
I can go and do that. and
Kim and I are not coming to get you if you do that. So just so you know.
There is a thing called menopause. But like seriously,
Yes.
who was your crush now?
Oh, my crush now. Okay, everyone is like, what? I think Jeremy Renner is so adorable. I do not know why.
Too.
I think he's like king of whatever, mayor of whatever. Like, I think, what? I know. I don't know why. I'm just like, that's and everyone's like, that's your crush? But him, and then for the funny side of it, like he's my serious one. And then the funny side of it is probably always going to be,
Okay.
oh God, what's his name? Like, what am I not thinking of it? I can't remember. I just had
menopause. Take your time.
It's terrible.
This is it.
The guy in Wedding Crashers. What's his name? The guy in Wedding. Give me the two leads in Wedding Crashers.
Vince.
Oh, Vince Vaughn?
Not Vince Vaughn.
No.
Oh, Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn. Yes, Vince.
Okay.
What's wrong with me?
No, he's a New Yorker. Is he not a New Yorker? And he's really tall, and he's kind of
really
like
tall.
He's sarcastic.
Vince.
He's a little sarcastic.
So who's yours? I like snarkiness. Yeah.
Oh gosh, today the young kids. I love Thor. So not
that's
Hemsworth.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm not trying to do the Hemsworth. Okay,
No.
He's too touchy feely. I want Thor.
Yeah.
I want the long hair.
Thor.
I want the big old hammer. And then
who was back then? Who's back in the day?
Oh gosh, I had Sean Cassidy. You're gonna crack up. But Donny Osmond was for a while when I was younger.
Donny Osmond was mine too. I had Donny wearing Barbie dolls.
Of course you did. I had the record
Did you know that? You did?
Oh, I've met them at the Q. You know, I've met them at QDC. And I almost wrapped my legs around Marie Osmond. I thought, okay, this girl's a little psycho.
They were my idol, the two of them.
And I'm going to tell you, but my teenage crush was the Russian from Rocky. Remember the Russian? Dolph, what's his name?
Who was that?
Him like the bad boy. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren.
I like a bad boy. I'm going to bad boy.
I don't date men that are smaller or have smaller butts than me. If your butt is better or smaller than mine, I don't like you.
But I love that you like Jeremy. Jeremy is a bad boy.
He's bad. Oh my God, this is now the new podcast, Menopause and Crushes.
On a totally unrelated note, I listened to your podcast, Tamsen, and if you have Halle Berry's number that you could just give me, like,
tell Halle to call us.
She was such a gem. Like, I got to tell you,
your podcast is fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Your podcast is fantastic. I've only had 2 episodes. I'm still like trying to figure it all out. I need some tips.
All right, I have a last question. Okay. Gosh, I could talk to you forever. Okay. I want you to leave everybody listening right now because we're joking about menopause and you and I are sisters from another mister too. So leave us with a menopause pep talk. Just talk to all the women out there who are experiencing the symptoms and maybe haven't done anything about it. You know, Tamsen? I mean, just talk to us. Give us your words of encouragement and wisdom, and we're going to get the book. But tell us it's all going to be okay. Give us a pep talk.
You know what? It's going to be all okay because I look at somebody like you and I know where you are and where you're at and what happens next. And I think that lets us know that everything's going to be okay first. So I'm hoping that women that are stepping out and being vocal about it and talking about it are that inspiration that other women need. But I would say this, if you are in that muck and in the middle of like everything and everything's pulling at you from all different directions, that we said the words help her, you have got to help you. I mean, I think that is so important, and there's nothing else that can take precedent over it, because you can't be there for anybody else if not, and you really can't be. And if you don't get control of where your health is right now to take care of it, whatever age you are, whether you're 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, if you don't take control of whatever you can do the best, I mean, you want these years to be beautiful years. It's not about living as high of a number as you can get to. You want those to be great
quality
years that you feel good and you want to get out of bed and you want to feel excited about it. And so I would just say, whether it's hormones, whether it's non-hormonal, whether it's a lifestyle change, implement one at a time. It doesn't have to be a big to-do list. It's overwhelming that you give up on, but I promise you there's really hope to feel better than ever, because it's what you deserve. It's what you deserve. You've been there for everyone else all these years. Well, I love you. Your words are just like, they touch me. They really do touch me. And the first time we connected, I was like, oh, I love her. She's just amazing.
And y'all, Tamsen is gorgeous. I mean, so gorgeous. And I got to watch you Friday night, because you're going to be on.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know this will be out for them, but they can go back and watch it. Over 50 and Fabulous episode with my girl, Mally, who's also in menopause. I just outed Mally.
Yes, she is.
Mally's in menopause as well. Okay. Y'all, you can follow Tamsen on all the social media platforms at Tamsen Fadal. All the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. And you have to get Tamsen's book, How to Menopause. Y'all, it's going to be a game changer. And it's out now everywhere books are sold. And her new podcast is The Tamsen Show. Go and download it now. Her documentary is called The M Factor. M, I guess, stands for menopause. So you're gonna do such important work for women. You're already doing important work for women. This is a subject that has been taboo, Tamsen, but you are certainly the fearless leader to lead us into the menopause moments.
You're wonderful. I want to have a Frito pie with you.
We're doing it.
Bonus.
The next time we're at the key, we're doing it.
That's behind the scenes.
I love it.
All right, bye, y'all. Thanks for watching. Everybody. Go check out Tamsen Fadal everywhere. Zach Miller is the executive producer of The Kim Gravel Show. His production company is Uncommon Audio. Our producer is Kathleen Grant, the brunette exec. Production help from Emily Breeden and Sarah Noto. Our cover art is designed by Sanaz Huber at Mammarian Creative. Our show is edited by Mike Kligerman. Our guest intros are performed by Roxy Reese. Our guest booking is done by Central Talent Booking. Our ads are furnished by True Native Media. And y'all, I want to give a big, huge thank you to the entire team at QVC Plus. And a special thank you to our audience for making this community so strong. If you are still listening, then you must have liked a few episodes along the way. So tell somebody about it. Tell somebody about this show. And join our mailing list at thekimgravelshow.com. I cannot do this show without you, and so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. I hope you've gained a little bit of encouragement, light, and love from watching and listening to The Kim Gravel Show. I love y'all so much. Until next time, bye y'all.